put this other light on, or you got enough?
I'm going to read the book of Ecclesiastes in Hebrew. I'm going to be working on the introduction, looking at the a grammatical analysis of this great book and working slowly through the introduction. I've done a running commentary on the book, and now I want to focus on a grammatical analysis. So I'm beginning at verse 1 1. Ecclesiastes 1 down to verse 11 is what we might call the introduction. And actually, we can start it at verse 2 to 11, following the verse 1, where we have the introduction of the author. Divrei Kohelet ben David Melech Berushalayim. And by the way, Ecclesiastes is the most philosophical book in the Hebrew scriptures. So it begins, the words of the Kohelet, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Notice divrei is from davar, meaning word, and it's a plural noun in construct with Kohelet. So it's the words of the Kohelet. Kohelet is a participle. It's a cow participle, feminine singular from kahal. And here it's looking at one addressing an assembly of learners, those that want to understand life. So the words of the Kohelet, Ben David, son of David, which many have believed that Solomon is the author of the book, writing it as an old man. That's possible. It is thought that he wrote Song of Songs as a young man, Proverbs as a middle-aged man, and the book of Kohelet as an older man, examining life. So at any rate, it could have been Solomon. That's my understanding. Some understand it to be someone using Solomon's name, so to speak, but a different, someone else using Solomon as a mouthpiece. So those are the two positions. The words of the Kohelet, son of David, Melech Berushalayim, king in Jerusalem. Melech means king. Berushalayim, be is the preposition in. Yerushalayim means Jerusalem. So it's with that in mind, the phrase then is looking at what the king has to say. And notice it begins, Havel Havalim, Amar Kohelet, Havel Havalim, Hakol Havel. Vanity of vanities, says the Kohelet. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Notice the noun here, Havel, looks at that which is transitory, that which is fleeting, like taking a breath on a cold day. You see it for a moment and then it's gone. And what he's doing here, he's simply saying the 7 ways of describing the vanity of everything. This will be a theme that the writer will use, showing the Kohelet, or showing the vanity of everything. It's like a breath on a cold day. And he's looking at the superlative degree of Havel, of vanity. And so this is the way he is beginning to write this great book of the Kohelet. I've used this illustration before. This is from the rabbis and some of their thoughts. At least one rabbi taught that Kohelet spoke in 7 vanities to correspond to the 7 stages of man which he experiences in his lifetime. At 1 year, he is like a king. Isn't that true? Everyone embraces and pays deference to him. At 2 and 3, he is like a pig groping in the gutters. At 10, he skips like a young goat. At 20, he neighs like a horse and seeks a wife. After marriage, he bears burdens like an ass and hardens his face like a dog in search for sustenance. And how true that is. I mean, people are saying today at that age group that all they're doing is working, 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 trying to survive. In old age, he is like an ape. I'm assuming he's lumbering along, more difficult to move. He can't be moving quickly, let's say, like a horse or like a young goat. So, this is an interesting quote. It's found in the Sonsino Bible commentary on page 109. I thought it was interesting to see how that particular rabbi was speaking of the times of life, the ages, the different periods. So then we go on after showing this theme. This theme will be repeated. Havel, Hevel, Hevel. Life is transitory. Life is like a breath. It's fleeting, and on and on. And he'll look at different ways that one can try to find reality in life with its quick, can I say, um, transitoriness is the idea. So, what profit? Ma yitron la adam becho amalo sheya'amol tachat ha-shamish. What profit or what surplus or advantage has one is there to man in all his hard toil, wherein he toils under the sun? So he's asking a question: what really surplus is left when you think about life? What's left at the end of life of man of all of his toil? What profit? And becho amalo, amal means hard toil. Sheya amol tachat hashamish, which he toils under the sun or labors under the sun. Tachat hashamish is another way of defining life in this world, under the sun, so to speak, while one is living. And notice here, ya amol is a cow imperfect, third masculine singular from the root amal, to labor. So, what advancement, what surplus is there left as we look at life? And he then goes on to talk about the passing of generations. Notice verse 4. Dur holek v'dur ba v'ha'aretz le'olam omadet. A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth abides forever. Notice we have the passing of one generation as another's coming on the scene, but the earth just seems to go on, to abide forever. Dor holek. Holek is from the verb halak. It means to walk or to pass away. And here we have a cow participle, masculine singular from halak. So a generation is going off the scene, passing away. Vadur ba, and a generation comes. Another cow participle, masculine singular. Vaha'aretz le'omadet omadet. But the earth abides forever. Omadet is another participle, cow, feminine singular from amad. So it's like the earth is still here, but everything is passing away. Generation is going off the scene, a generation is coming. So he's looking at the transitoriness of life by looking at generations coming and going. I remember when I was young, going to elementary school, playing on jungle gyms and all of that. And now we see the same thing going on, and life is going on. V'zarach hashemesh uba hashemesh ve'el mekomo sho'ev zoreachu sham. The sun arises and the sun goes down, and unto its place it pants to go from where it is arising or where it arises. Notice the zara is a cow perfect, third masculine singular, from zara to arise. So the sun arises, the sun goes, and unto its place. So eighth, it's sort of like it's panting to go. It's hurrying to go. Another cow participle, masculine singular from sha'ah. It's hurrying to go from where it zoreh arose. A cow participle, masculine singular from zara, to go. So again, he's using the sun as an illustration of the transitoriness of life. Not only does one generation come on the scene and go off, and that transitory character of human life, but the sun has the same kind of up and change, the same kind of movement. It appears and then it'll arise and go off the scene. The moon will come up, and it just goes on and on and on. And so, what he's showing here uh, is that this basically is another illustration of the transitoriness of life. And he's using the sun as an illustration. I'm going to stop there. I'm trying to hold these to about 10 minutes or 12 at the most, if I'm able to. Looking at life, tachat hashamish, under the sun, trying to show over and over how it's transitory, it's fleeting, it's hevel.